What's up, friends? Liz Wilcox here. Welcome to List Building Live, day 3. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. We have had so much activity, like in the DMs, in the chat yesterday. You guys are already thumbing it up. Can I get a thumbs up? We've got 8, but we've got 23 people here. So thumb it up. Oh my gosh, Scott's here. Anime Lava is here, Travis, and y'all, I'm trying to put your comments on the screen. I'm using eCam, but I must have broken this profile. Like, I think I did something wrong where the comments aren't showing, so I apologize, but shout out to eCam. If eCam's here, tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I broke it. Anyway, really super excited about today. First and foremost, do not forget, we are offering the SPI community. I see Scott Fisher in the chat. I see Robert Rodriguez in the chat. I know they are both community members. I was hanging out with them yesterday in the community, and we're offering it for 50% off, guys. And we just added a whole email starter kit to the Superfan system. You're going to get so much amazing stuff to not only grow your list, but to know what the heck to do with those leads when you do the thing, okay? So I'm feeling really excited today, but I also want to tell you, my internet has been acting wonky. So if I leave the chat, like if the live stream is like buffering or something, I promise I'm coming back. I promise I'll be back. It might be a few minutes. My sister lives across or down the street, and she said I could just unplug my computer and come to her house because she's not having issues. So it might be a few minutes, but I will be back. I just wanted to preface that, okay? So if you guys see me in the chat like disappear, can you type in the chat for people that aren't here yet? Like, hey, Liz will be back in a minute. So love it, love it, love it. Yeah, everybody has been telling me that I've been everywhere lately. But Patricia is in the chat, and she's the one that like sets up all my summits and appearances. And sometimes I'll do an interview 2 months ago that premieres today, and it's suddenly, I call it the Drake method, guys. Drake is just on every feature of every song ever. He's selling Sprite in the movie theaters. That's what I call it. Anyway, let's get to today, day 3 of List Building Live. We've got some amazing talks. You can go to the Smart Passive Income podcast player to listen to those. But today, I'm bringing out an amazing guest named Nina, and she's all about SEO, okay? And so we're going to talk about how to get visible online, all right? But first and foremost, I want to talk about the prizes. Okay, let's talk about the prizes, all right? First, you've got the coupon book, okay? Then I'm giving away one guest spot to the Smart Passive Income podcast. Yes, the one, the only Smart Passive Income podcast, one of the top rated business podcasts in the world, 80 to 100,000 downloads a month. You might win a spot today, but you have to thumb it up. You have to thumb up the video, and you have to continuously engage in the chat, because one thing you got to know about Liz Wilcox, for you watching on the SPI side, I'm unpredictable. I do what I want. And, I'm not always the most organized chick. So you never know when I'm going to pick the winner. So you don't want to exit the chat. I know you've got 10 tabs open right now. Close them down because you want this guest spot. But the thing about the guest spot, I want to tell you guys, if you're like, oh, this is scary, I don't know if I'm ready, we will have 12 months to book you. So if you win and you're like, oh, I'm just in the baby stages, we can book you out in advance, so you don't have to come on right this second, okay? If you're ready, we'll interview you now. If you're not ready, maybe it will be like, oh, I'm getting excited down here in my belly. I'm getting butterflies for you. Maybe if you win, it would be the thing that finally gets you motivated to do the thing, right? So, ooh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So somebody mentioned that the lag is terrible. Do I sound awful? Let me know in the chat. Okay. The second, or the last prize we're giving away is a 20-minute, because today is August 20th. I've been doing themed days, right? We gave away $18. We gave away 19 free courses yesterday. Today we're giving away a 20-minute strategy session with your girl, Liz Wilcox. Oh my gosh, David joined SPI today. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So exciting. What I want to do, and Sandy's in the chat, and Sandy's going to shout us out. I want to talk about two of our sponsors today, though, first. Can I? Okay. Thank you, guys. So, as you know, we've got the List Building Live coupon book. This is over $5,000 in free stuff, okay? Think of it as a bundle, but we put it into Canva, okay? Like, that's kind of what's going on here with this coupon book. But I want to share with you two of our awesome sponsors, and anyone that signs up for both of these things is going to be entered to win $100. Who wants to win $100 today? Put $100 in the chat. Put $100 in the chat. And this is cash. I'm not sending you a gift card. I'm going to PayPal you or Venmo you today. But you gotta let us know that you signed up. You got to show us proof, okay? So you're going to show us proof. I'm going to put it in the chat. admin@lizwilcox.com, and shout out Patricia because she's been getting so many emails. I've just been like, email Patricia. Okay, so admin@lizwilcox. You got to sign up for these two sponsors. Hang on, I'm going to show you who they are. And you're going to get entered to win. I can't give away $100 to everybody. All right? We didn't hit our quota quite yet with that. Okay? But you're going to be entered to win $100. Okay? Let me show you who I'm talking about. And I think you're going to love these prizes. All right. This is for free from Destiny Kopp. I love her. So there's not a lot of email people that I recommend because, of course, I think I'm the best, right? But Destiny is so, so good. And right now she's giving away for free, Sandy's going to put this in the chat, her mini magazine newsletter starter kit. So again, List Building Live is all about teaching you what the heck to do to grow the list. Destiny is going to share with you her mini magazine method. Okay, so she talks about newsletters in a way of, teaching you how to make a mini magazine out of your emails, okay? They're really fun. I'm subscribed to her newsletter. So Sandy's got it in the chat. Sign up for that right now and then tell me that you put it in there, okay? Because you might win $100. All right. The second one, hang on. I'm trying here, folks. I'm trying. The second one is from Monica Froese. Okay, and she's giving you her inbox experiment builder skill, okay? And this is going to walk you through designing reply-worthy emails, okay? Everybody and their mother tells me all the time, because I have a membership, and everyone's like, nobody replies. Monica is going to teach you this. Again, List Building Live, we're showing you how to get people on an email list. Monica is showing you how to actually generate money from that by getting replies. All right. So Sandy just put that in the chat, or you guys can go to the coupon book, which is in your email. And these two sponsors, again, Monica and Destiny, they're giving away, this is really good stuff. I would not let somebody sponsor that I thought was garbage. I really wouldn't. Okay. Because guess what? I don't actually need the money. So this is really, really good stuff. Email us. Okay. Alan subscribed. Everybody subscribing. Okay. Enter to win. You gotta sign up for both to get the $100. All right. And then email us. Let me put the email in the chat one more time. I'm doing it super professional. Okay. Email us and let us know that you signed up for both. All right? Unfinished idea. Got it done. Awesome. You guys are so smart. Oh my gosh. Did you know? Isn't it fun? Like, you didn't even know coming to this live stream you would have a chance to win $100 today. Like, I'm just stoked for you. I'm just so excited for you. Alrighty then. I'm going to take a sip of water. And I have to narrate that because clearly I'm not on screen, right? Click here to redeem. Okay, go do that. And now I want to talk to you a little bit about our guest speaker today. Her name is Nina Clapperton, and she's best known for SEO. And I have been working with Nina, I think it had to have been 2020, 2021. It's been a long time that we have collaborated. And what I love about her is she really understood my travel blog roots. If you guys don't know, I started as an RV travel blogger, and if you've even dabbled in blogging, you know how important SEO is, right? Search engine optimization. And I worked really hard back in the day on that SEO. And now, fast forward 10 years, and I got on the phone with somebody the other day, and Nina's going to talk about this. And she was asking me to be on her podcast. And, some people are old school. I was like, why is this lady trying to get me on a phone call? But I actually was really glad we got on a phone call because it turned out I really liked her. And then we were getting off the phone and I said, oh, by the way, how did you find me? Right? Because she was pitching me for a couple speaking engagements. She said, oh, I just asked ChatGPT. And yours was the first name. I was like, bada bing, bada boom, baby. That is awesome. So what's so funny about that is I don't even know how I did that. I don't know, but Nina is going to teach us how I did that today, because almost every day now, somebody is telling me, I found you through AI. So let's bring her out. One sec while I try not to choke. Let's bring her out. Hey, Nina, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so great, and I'm so excited for you to talk to us about how to get visible on the internet, because we've already talked about collaborations as a way. We've talked about using speaking as a way of getting visible, but I know there's a third and really important way, and that is through search engines, right? Like I just said, something. Oh, I found. Google told me, right? So really, really excited to talk about this. So let's do a quick intro and then let's just get right into it. And you tell us sort of like an elementary version of SEO and why SEO is so worth it to spend time on.
For sure. So, search engine optimization, or SEO, is super fancy in like the tech bro world, and they try to make it scary, and it's just not. Like, at its core, search engine optimization is just optimizing your content so that anywhere your audience is and they search for best email marketing expert, for I don't know, best calendar for business owners. I'm just looking at things in like Liz's background right now. But for any of that, when they search that, you show up. And that can happen on Google. It can happen on AI, different search engines there, because AI is a search engine now. It can happen in Instagram search. It can happen on Facebook itself. It's even starting to happen, which I think you'll love, with email, where nowadays showing up in someone's inbox is starting to influence your Google searches, actually, which I think is probably a part of you showing up in any sort of like Google AI. So yeah, SEO is literally just making sure that like algorithms understand your content so that when a user goes and searches for it, you show up. It's that simple.
Love that. And why is it worth it to spend time on this? Like especially, Liz just told me all I have to do is collabs, right? So what makes SEO worth the time?
There's kind of two reasons. So first of all, I'm chronically ill. I'm also like very proudly a lazy girl. In like almost everything I talk about, I'm always like, all I want to do is nap with my dog. That is like my goal in life, is to spend as much time napping with my dog. And with SEO, it lasts the longest. So I actually I'm good at socials. I don't love it, but I'm okay at it. I'm good at email marketing. I've gone viral on every social platform in the last year alone on 3 separate business sites that I have, because I do way too much stuff. And I can tell you that like SEO works the longest and it's the easiest to do. And you can do it while you're in your pajamas watching Criminal Minds, which is really nice, because with collabs, you got to show up. There's all these like live elements and emails you got to send. And like even today, I had to wash my hair for this. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got to like consider hair washing. Oh, how hard is that? But with SEO, you don't have to. And on average, SEO results last for 2 years. So like they'll start to degrade around a year and a half. I have my website right now. I still get over 10,000 views per month. And I haven't updated a post in 3 years, which is like something I'm starting on Monday with some of my students. Thank goodness it needs an update. But that's how long it lasts. The second thing is when you do a collab like this, a lot of you guys aren't going to go and click the links in the YouTube description. You're not going to remember immediately like to go to my website or something, but you might think of me later and be like, I'm going to go search that Nina girl from that podcast I heard, from that YouTube video. A lot of us too, if we're like watching something maybe on our computers, we search it on our phone. And so when they search you, you want to show up. And so often people don't show up even for their own brand name, which is ridiculous. But especially when someone is searching for SEO, maybe they learned it at like a collab event, but there's 3 of you at the event. You want to be the person that shows up. So really it works with everything that you're doing. Also, like I said, when you're lazy, it can lead people to finding you for the collabs. It can lead people to finding your email list. My email list grows by over 200 people a month minimum, and that's with 0 active promotion. When I do active promotion, it's like closer to 600 to 1,000, but I'm very lazy, so I just let it run. And that's why you need SEO. I will also just like slot in, because I know we're going to talk about like AI a little bit, but SEO isn't just with AI, it's also with like video, it's with your images on Instagram, all of these things where you're just trying to make sure it's something that your audience can find you for. It builds your authority. It makes sure that like no matter what platform you're on, you're accessible to your people because they're finding you. And basically it makes your content more understandable, because all too often, and I come from a writing background, so all too often we use fancy terms that no one else is using and they can't find us. So instead we want to say in plain English, like how to grow your email list, not how to, I don't know, optimize your conversion rate for your freebie opt-ins with an embedded form. Because what does that even mean? Like to a beginner, they have no idea. So we want to just translate ourselves a little bit, a tiny bit, to make sure that people can find us.
I love that. Yeah, and it's not, I've heard, as far as that goes, people can sometimes get frustrated about, catering to a lower denominator or whatever. But really, it's, we are busy on our phones, we are scrolling. Like, it's just about making sure we are visible and that people can easily find us and be digestible and make the decision, do I like them or not? So when it comes to SEO, how do we get started? What are the basics of it, right? Because I even mentioned like, I don't even know how AI is finding me, right? So where do we get started if we're like, oh yeah, I'm lazy too. I love this.
Yeah. So as a true beginner, you first need a website. That's the bare minimum. You need to have a domain that you own. That can be one page. I'd rather it not be. I'd rather you have like at least, 4 pages and then like 10 blog posts, but you can take your time getting there. But you do need a website that you own. So not something like Etsy, not something like your Kit, like subscriber page or whatever. You need a website. Then you need to actually have analytics connected, and don't be afraid, don't run away. We just need a way to see what's working. So just like with email, we need to know who's opening, how many people we have on the list. We want to understand how many people are seeing us, and we want to understand where they're going. So like which email they're opening, but which page they're going to. So that's like bare minimum basics. Then when you're building your website and thinking about the content that you want to have on it, I always recommend, like, let's be real, we want income. Income's really important. So I start with what the income is going to come from. So if it's going to be selling a course on email list growth, that's different than if you're going to start selling a course on the tech behind an email. So the content that you're going to create will change a little bit. And just knowing that, honestly, like I'll say, oh, you just need to know that. You just need to know like the topic. It actually massively fixes things because you start naturally writing in a way where everything that you're creating is focused on that. So once you have all that, that's like the basic stuff. I want you to know who you're talking to, because content changes if you're talking to someone who's 95 about podcasting versus someone who's 19. The terms will be very different. Their understanding will be very different. And then I want you to figure out the most common questions that you get asked and write content around that. Now, again, I'm very lazy. So the reason I started doing this wasn't for SEO. It was because I am lazy. I am like chronically, critically diagnosed lazy. And so anytime I got asked a question, if the question came up more than 3 times, it became a blog post. That way, every time they asked that question, I could send them to a piece of content that already existed that's like ready for them. Problem is, I got a lot of questions. So I had to start like being a little bit more careful with that. But they actually started ranking for keywords I didn't even realize would show up. Much like Liz, I was like, oh, I'm just doing this to help. And so at its core, what you're doing there is writing for your audience. And with SEO, a lot of like the tech bros, if you Google it, you'll find all this scary stuff about SEO needing like crazy tech and all this stuff. All you actually need is to know who your audience is and to write in a way that helps them, and not just like one time, like actually write in a way that helps them through the multiple different posts that you're creating. So you can then get into some like fancier tech stuff if you want to, where then we can start talking about optimizing for topical authority. We can start talking about internal links and backlinks, which like aren't that scary, guys, honestly, but they're just terms that'll be different for everybody. What I want you to remember is that at its core, to start with SEO, to start and not run away terrified, you need a website. You need to have a like focus that you're going to write on. You need to know who those people are. And if you already have any people, go and look at what they're asking you and then be lazy and create something you can send them back to. Because that's how you're going to build your authority and also save yourself a lot of time having to answer the same thing over and over and over again.
Listen, I love this because I also am completely lazy. So I did my office hours in the SPI community yesterday, which by the way, you can get for 50% off right now. And somebody asked me something. I said, well, I just don't like to work. Like this is fun, but you know what is more fun is turning the computer off. Right? Like, obviously, I love you guys. Jason was just in another Zoom with me. Like, I really love to serve, but I don't live to work. Right? And so SEO is truly the bomb.com because what Nina said about, like it lasts a couple years, right? And that's one thing when I wrote, I wanted to go back to what Nina said about knowing who you're talking to. Talking to a 19 versus a 90-year-old is going to be really different. If you guys go to lizwilcox.com/blog, you'll even see like the headlines that I have, the titles of my blog posts. It's quite obvious who I'm talking to and who I'm not. If you click on those links, I have a very strong personality and I'm trying to attract people that like that strong personality that would come here and hang out with me on a live stream for 30 to 60 minutes, right? And so don't be afraid, even though you're thinking, I'm writing for Google or AI or Gemini or whatever, don't be afraid to what Nina said, know who you're talking to and talk to that person. I feel like Google, especially in the last 5 years, has gotten super smart about that. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I always say that like SEO used to be a math formula. Now it's a conversation. And it's a conversation with your ideal audience, not with an algorithm with a robot. Because the robot is trying to catch up to that person. So the way that you algorithm proof your blog, the way that you like have longevity in your business is that you think about the person first. You think about how you're helping them. You think about I always think of it literally as a conversation of what's their first question, what's their follow-up, how do we keep going all the way till we get from I didn't even know what that thing was to, oh my God, here's my money, take my money, run with it. And not in terms of something scammy. I never advise any sort of like clickbait or whatever, but in terms of like putting your proof out there. And if everyone here is like familiar with email marketing language, like maybe a funnel for your email, a welcome sequence, a sales sequence, a lot of people are more familiar with like a pillar on social media, whatever. Basically, a series of content, a series of content that connects, and it's naturally filtering your people, like Liz said, but it's also proving that you know your stuff. I used to write novels. That was like an earlier version of my life I thought I was going to live. And then it turned out, no, that's very hard. I don't like it. But when you're writing like and working on a novel, you're really, sorry, I immediately lost my train of thought mid-sentence, which does happen to me often. Again, chronic illness, brain fog. Oh, proving the authority. But it's show not tell. So in your novel, the whole like writing thing is to show not tell. And so often with old SEO, with other tactics, people tell you to like tell your audience to trust you. Tell them that you know your stuff. And I'm like, actually, no. Because the person on the side of the street saying like, trust me, trust me, trust me, guess who I don't trust? That's always the person on Love Island that's like the biggest red flag, is the guy who's always just like, trust me, I promise. Like, I promise I'm going to be faithful. And I'm like, show me, show me. And the way that you
Yes.
can do that is by having that base of content, a little database. And Liz actually has this on her site really well. I send people to Liz's articles every now and then when they ask about something that I'm like, I'm not the email girl. Like, that's Liz. And so having it, it's this thing that you can repurpose. It's this thing that brings people to you. And it's also a way to like become known for what you want to be known for. So yeah, I'm obsessed with it. I do like a strategy a bit differently from other people, where a lot of people will be like, oh no, I need hundreds of blog posts. I need to be like writing once a week or twice a week, like all those like old early 2010s like blogging TV shows that were ridiculous. No, you can write 10 to 20 posts and then be done and peace out, and then you're good, depending on what your business is. But like, this is not a full-time job. Like Liz said,
Okay.
we want to chill.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned it's not a full-time job, and some Nixter I think was asking like how often do I need to blog? And yeah, so I have this, I love the word Nina used, like a database of content, right? It's like what are those evergreen things, those questions people are always asking. And even if you don't have a large audience right now, and Nina mentioned about, oh, I get asked it 3 times, it's a blog post, right? Like maybe you're, oh, well, I want to get started, but I don't have people asking me anything. I would suggest like looking into Reddit, YouTube comments, getting into Facebook groups where your people are, LinkedIn groups, things like that. You will see those posts that are coming up. Again, I know especially in Reddit, like I recently joined the subreddit Passive Income because I've been hanging out with Pat and the gang, right? And it's always, there's almost every day the same question of like, what are some easy passive income ideas? And of course, there's always the comments like, just Google it, or, like this was asked, moderators, can we please get rid of these? Those are the types of things you write the blog posts on, right? So I am going to pick a 20-minute strategy session winner right now. I'm super, super, super excited about it. And the person that I see at the top of my comments is Conrad. So Conrad, you just won a 20-minute strategy session with Liz Wilcox. You can email admin@lizwilcox.com, and I put that in the chat for you. So congratulations, but don't forget, we're still giving away a podcast interview. I'm really excited about it because y'all, let me tell you, it took 3 years of active work for me to be able to get on the SBI podcast. You're going to get it today just by commenting and interacting with this live. So I'm super excited about it. All right, Nina.
Yep.
Now that we've got the basics, how long do we have to wait for the payout, for the payoff? Is it payout or payout? I guess maybe both. Anyway, how long is this, right? Because maybe I'm lazy, but maybe I'm also impatient. So talk to us about the timeline of SEO.
So SEO on average takes 3 to 6 months to like fully see results. And that's largely because Google is trying to go through a bajillion sites. And most of us care most about Google, but I also mean like ChatGPT, which looks at Google and Bing. There's a whole bunch of research on that. Claude, Perplexity, DuckDuckGo, whatever search engines. Essentially, the way that SEO works is it sees you as an entire entity. So it sees the ecosystem. It sees any socials that you have. It sees if you have a newsletter. It sees how people engage with you. It sees your content. And so that can vary it. Where like if Liz today was to completely scrap the existing website and start a new one, Liz would have better results faster because you're already known. There's a brand awareness there. If someone is starting from complete scratch, like ground zero, I would expect 6 months if you're not doing any of the collabs and the list building, which get your name out there more. So it can take a minute. It's not the end of the world. To speed it up, you would do those like active collaborations that can kind of like boost you. I call them side quests, where I'm like, okay, your main thing is your SEO and your email. Those are things I connect very intensely, because like Liz, I really want to own my audience and not be reliant on a singular algorithm, which is why I talk about SEO being all over the place. But you want to bring people in from other areas to also kind of jumpstart and be like, hey, look, people like me. Because Google's a mean girl. Google wants to know if other people know about you and like you, and then they'll like you faster. Otherwise, it takes a second for them to like deal with you. But another way to check this, and this is why I said get your analytics set up, you just got to install them. It's free. There's a bajillion YouTube tutorials on it. I have them on my channel if you want. She knows SEO. Otherwise, like Google it. Doesn't matter. Like go find an instructional video. But you're going to connect these analytics because then you can look at what's working and you can see, okay, am I getting traffic? Am I going to start getting sales out of this? You can only get sales out of it if you have something to sell, I would say. So the payout depends on if you have an offer. But other than that, yeah, it can take 3 to 6 months to be stable, not to see any results, but to be like pretty stable. And then it can last anywhere from like, yeah, I'm again at 3 years right now. And my content is like not the best. I definitely need to update it. I'm in the midst of doing that, as I said, but it's still building my authority. I still get people like every single freaking day messaging me that they came from SEO, that they found me by searching, even that they found me by searching on YouTube, on ChatGPT, on Gemini. I had someone say Grok recently, and I kind of forgot Grok existed because I think that's the X one or something. I don't know. But this really works because the algorithms at the core of all of these different places are focused on the same thing. They're focused on the audience finding content that they want, that is original, that has humanity at the core of it, and that's unique. So something new, which is why sometimes some of it is spammy, fake nonsense because they're just trying to find new stuff. They're working on it. It's a shit show sometimes, which is why we like email, where even when the algorithms are learning and adjusting, I say that we're in the phase of like AI SEO right now, where it's like me when I was 13 and I had just discovered eyeliner. So I drew like a light blue line under each eye and that was it. And then like maybe 6 months later, I discovered black eyeliner and I went goth and I had like raccoon eyes. So we're in like the raccoon eyes phase right now.
Okay, that's a good analogy, and I want to bring it back really quick before we talk about what's going on in the chat.
Yeah.
Nina said you have to have something to sell. Okay, I'm just gonna drop that there for you. Take what it is. You know, we're trying to put the I back in SPI, y'all. I stands for income. Okay, so. And I know we've thrown so much at you at List Building Live. It's like, well, you know, what do I do? But just don't forget about the income part. Like always have that in the back of your head as you set up these foundational practices, right? Because growing your email list, whichever way you do it, is a foundational practice that you'll be doing for the rest of your business life. I say that with love. And it's exciting because it's not something you have to do. It's something you get to do. You get to connect with people on the internet. Are you kidding me? Like there's 70 something of you hanging out with me right now. I get to do this. This isn't something I have to do, right? So love that. But I want to talk about what's going on in the chat here. I love seeing it explode. Thumb it up. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you're liking it. A lot of people are asking about YouTube and like, if I'm creating YouTube videos, is that helping me with like my Google deliver or, you know, findability? And also like, do you know if YouTube SEO is differing from like what I'm doing on my website? How does that all work together, or does it even?
It does work together. Google in like 2024, I think. Yeah, they have a keynote every year and they always have a buzzword. And the buzzword that year was multimodal, which literally just means multiple platforms, multiple formats of the content. And they said, they're like, we are multimodal search now. And if you search on Google, if you search on ChatGPT, you can search inside of Google Maps now, like all of these things. You'll see different formats of content come up. You'll see YouTube. You'll see they have a short form video tab now. The generative AI now is making images images for some reason instead of pulling the real ones. I think that's because some, especially travel bloggers, got really mad at them for copyright infringement, pulling images without credit. Who knows? There's a lot of tea there. But it started pulling multiple forms of content to answer what was traditionally a search that would just list a bunch of web pages. So it 100% helps. YouTube SEO, I also have a YouTube channel. I spent 1 year just like hyper fixating on it, grew it to 6,600 people, still have it, still enjoy it. I am critically ADHD according to my therapist, so I do jump around a lot. But with YouTube SEO, some things change a little bit. So YouTube has its entirely different algorithm within YouTube, but it still can show up on traditional search if you optimize that way, which is what I personally optimize more for, because within YouTube, I optimize for search, not virality. I don't want to go viral in the minute. I want something that's going to like endure and last. I have a video right now on Microsoft Clarity, which is a really cool free tool I recommend everyone check out, that can do heat maps and like videos of how people move through your website and stuff. Really good for figuring out email opt-ins and like what's working, what's not. But when you look at that, but when you go into it, it's a lot, like at first. So I made a tutorial on like, here's how you can use it. I think it has 16,000 views now. I made that like screen recorded on Loom, nothing fancy. So production doesn't matter for search. Production matters for viral content because they like really care about that. For YouTube SEO, I also actually have YouTube videos literally like on exactly how I do it and optimize a video and like find keywords and stuff for it. But to create like YouTube optimized content, a blog post would have a heading, a title. That's the name of the post. A YouTube video has the title of the video. Same thing. The description of the YouTube video is like the introduction of the blog post, because the introduction of the blog post, your first 1,000 words, matter the most. And that's because AI is lazy. AI is expensive to run, so they don't actually want it to read your entire piece of content. They want the first 1,000 words. And so I say that description is more like your intro versus there's a thing called a meta description, which you should still use, but it doesn't add context the same way, where your description can have links and things. Then the actual transcript of your video, that's equivalent to the entirety of the blog post. So being on topic, that stuff matters. But at its core, what I do for all of this, because I had my first YouTube video hit 1,000 views with literally no understanding of YouTube SEO, just understanding my audience. And that's how I go viral all over the place. And that's really the core of my SEO strategy. I know I've seen people in the chat being like, oh, do you like use algorithms then, or is it just audience? And I don't mean to say it in like a angry voice. I just literally can't do other voices. Like I cannot do different voices. It's that, and then it's my dog voice, like talking to my dog. And that's weird. So we're not doing that. But with it, you essentially like are looking at your audience first, because SEO again is pleasing algorithms, but the algorithms are pleasing people. So if we skip the algorithm and we please people, we're good. So I made a tutorial. It was either my key search or my link whisper tutorial. And it was like, just here's how to use it. I recorded it, I think with like in 480p or something, which is like a really bad video quality. It was so pixely and horrible. I had no mic. My laptop was horrible. I sound underwater. But I recorded it. I posted it in my Facebook group initially, eventually put it on YouTube, and I gave it the name of like key search tutorial. I think that was literally all I called it, or again, link whisper tutorial. The description, put the same thing, just like, hey, I talk about this thing here. And then that was basically it. But because the video was on topic, because people stayed in the video and continued watching it. Oh, the other thing, sorry, is I use timestamps. Timestamps in a YouTube video are like headings in a blog post. So having headings that break up the content. I'm a wordy girl, as you guys have probably realized. So a lot of my videos are like 15 to 30 minutes. So I use the timestamps to break it up so you can like jump to the part that you want to jump to. And that, yeah, all those signals work together. Then it's that your channel needs to be trusted, needs to be known for this thing, where I said having like a focus and something that you're working towards for your blog. Same for your YouTube channel. I now see like YouTube and blogs together as kind of the best strategy, because then you're targeting people of the two like most common learning styles. So we have text and then we have video. And the video, pro tip, my podcast actually is like 2 listens away from hitting, 200 listens. We're a little bit more than 200 listens away from hitting 20,000 downloads ever. But it's my YouTube video or my YouTube channel just turned into audio. Like it's not a podcast, really. It's just the audio format. So now, out of these two pieces of content, I have this third bonus piece of content that I get, like, people write me all the time asking to like have me on their podcast because of my podcast, or that they found me because of it. Because now I've got podcast SEO too. When I say I do SEO, I do SEO. That's my thing.
She does it.
Yeah, and then, I was just gonna say, and then you can repurpose it into short pieces of content too. So yeah, I have YouTube videos on my YouTube setup, and I do think that they work really well together. If you have one or the other, just repurpose them across. So if you have a blog post, talk through your blog post in a video and like do a bit of a demo if you can, or show some photos on the screen. Swap it other way around, blog to like, or YouTube to blog. So easy. It does not take very much time. Edit the transcript, you're good to go. But yeah, SEO exists literally anywhere with a search bar. And if you can optimize for it so that if your audience is somewhere and it's like, hey, I wonder if Nina's here, that they can find you, that's amazing. And if you can be optimizing for those questions where they're like, these are the problems I'm having that no one else could solve yet. That's why I always say YouTube comments and Reddit. So Liz is like right on it. I call them zero volume keywords, because I care about the audience searching them. I don't actually care if like a keyword research tool says that they have traffic, because those metrics aren't real. They're made up. They're from Google AdWords. We're not running ads. We're actually like creating content. It's very different.
That is such a good point. I love that so much. And I want to go back to the timestamps, because everyone's like, oh, great tip. Love that. And I mean, you're blowing people's minds in the chat. I love this so much. But Nixter was asking, like, do your timestamps, should they have keywords in them?
Yeah, so just like a heading. So basically, like your headings, the way that I think of it is the title of whatever piece of content is the title. It's like the name going out there. And then the like bullet point list of the too long, don't read, whatever, that's your headings. So whatever those key moments are, those key elements. So in this conversation, every question that Liz has asked me would probably be the timestamp, because usually that's shifting our topic a little bit. In a tutorial about something, every different things, maybe pricing versus features, and maybe even each individual feature would be a heading. Therefore, they're timestamps. So essentially just anything where you would be like, in this video, I cover X, Y, Z, but in depth, not just like the summary X, Y, Z that a lot of us do, where it's like, Nina's going to talk about SEO. And then obviously I go crazy because that's what happens. And Liz knows it. So we know each other well enough to know that. But with your content, it's the same idea there. So I did a series actually recently in my Facebook group, which is like my freebie for you guys. So come join anyway. But I did a series of like translating SEO for all the other platforms. So like if you get SEO, here's the YouTube translation of like where you'd find stuff on YouTube that's the same, or vice versa. Same for Instagram, same for LinkedIn, same for, I did a whole bunch. I did YouTube, I did all these different platforms. But the point was, at its core, all of these things are the same. Like even with an Instagram video, with a TikTok video, YouTube Shorts versus long form YouTube, there's still like a core similarity. And that thing really is that you just need to say what the hell it is and make it easy for someone to find. So if you're like bleary-eyed and lazy and like tired at 2 a.m., go double check your headings of that post you're writing and be like, does this actually like help me find the thing I'm looking for? And if not, you got to fix it. And if your audience ever tells you like, oh, I couldn't find this, or hey, like they ask a question, but it's already in the post, and you're like, no, it's in there, like just go look. That means you didn't do a good enough job like highlighting it. And so we need to adjust it. So that's something that I find really important. I also just want to like give like a little quick spiel for my like way to optimize for SEO for everything, but especially for AI SEO. Write an introduction that actually says something. So kind of like with email marketing with Liz, like Liz gets to the point. Your emails are like about something very clearly. It's not like disguised in, oh, like I saw a cloud today and that made me think of life. And then that made me think of this. And then that made me think of this. And oh, now I'm going to sell to you. It's like, wait, what? Like Liz is like, here's what's happening. Here's a thing. Here's who I am. And very much the same with your introduction. Who are you? who are you to talk about this thing? I want to know that I can trust you. And again, show, don't tell. And I want to know who you're talking to. So if I read one more introduction that says, in this blog post, I will prove, I'm like, we're not in like a high school essay. Like, we are in a blog post. We are having a quick conversation, a quick chat. Write like you talk, write like you would write an email, and just put it out there. So if I'm writing an introduction on like what is SEO, I'm not going to say like SEO has been around since, I don't know, 2002 or something. I think it's 2008. I know is like one of the big things, but whatever, since some time, and it involves this bot and that bot. I'm like, who cares? No, I'm going to say SEO is how you get found online. I was able to grow a business to 50,000 sessions or 65,000 page views, if you know what that is better, with SEO while working a full-time job and 4 part-time jobs. And it continued to pay off for years. All you have to do is stop listening to the tech bros that make it scary. You just have to like actually write content that is going to be something your audience is searching for. The most common things that we're caring about: user intent, keywords, and we need to make sure that we're looking at having original content, but stop paying attention to these terms, blah, 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 that are dumb. And yeah, screw the tech bros. Let's make SEO accessible. That's a way better introduction, right? Like
Yes.
Liz, you wouldn't read the other one.
Absolutely. And that's why, again, if you go to my blog, you'll see it's very readable. It's like, it's the same way I would write my email. And I love that, people are bringing all sorts of comments about like the different kinds of SEO, right? Like outside of Google. Is there and before we talk about AI, is there a major difference between like podcast SEO and Google SEO?
A little bit, just in terms of internal searchability in podcast platforms is kind of funny. It's not great. But again, the way it optimizes, like the way I'm optimizing mine, and I will say like podcast SEO is the thing I probably know the least about. I think podcast SEO and then multi-language SEO. Those are the 2 things I'm like very shaky ground on. I've tried to learn everything else. Those will come eventually, I'm sure. But with podcast SEO, you're optimizing the name of the show overall and the show notes overall as well. And then it is a bit more about frequency. So frequency matters. There's more like categorization that happens. And part of the problem is there's very rigid categories. So like that can be funky. But for my podcast, for She Knows SEO, literally just called She Knows SEO because I didn't try to do anything with it. Every episode is just the name of whatever the YouTube video is. And then the show itself just gets to the point really quickly because it's that transcript that matters and staying on topic. And having a searchable podcast versus, again, like a viral podcast is quite different. So something that would be less informative and educational, more like entertainment, like reading Reddit stories, things like that. Very different method of searching, just because you're not trying to answer a question with those, right?
Right. Whereas that makes a lot of sense.
Trying to answer a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say it's that. It's also it's downloads that do matter. And with another thing, again, it's just repurpose it into a blog post, because then you get double the amount. Podcasts were showing up on Google for a minute. They've kind of stopped now. So having the text again just really helps. But yeah, podcast is like the one I'm a bit shakier on. There's a lot of people on Threads that are great at it though.
Okay, so what I'm hearing, to recap, talk like a human, skip the SEO line and just do what the algorithms are doing and optimizing for humans. Love that. Repurpose, right? So I had a daily podcast for a year or so. And yeah, I would literally, the same way I'm recording this, I would use Ecamm to record. I would upload it, y'all. Patricia would put it on YouTube. We'd take the transcript, we put that into a blog post. And so it was a blog post, a video, and a podcast, right? But I want to go just really quick. We've got a few minutes. Nina is going to surprise us all, and she's going to do a giveaway. So I want you to talk about what you're giving away, and then you guys in the chat just type me, and we'll see who wins. So what are you giving away today?
Amazing. I'm giving away my 6 months to 50K sessions masterclass, which is my beginner to intermediate SEO course that takes you from I don't even have a website all the way to, oh, my website is like full of traffic. And now I have all these amazing people that really like me and I get to do stuff with them. So it is very much about the creation side of it, the writing content. I teach you how to write blog posts. I teach you how to do SEO research. It is also covering AI SEO. Don't worry. To me, SEO is all SEO. It is not like AEO, GEO. I don't care. It's all SEO together, mostly because GEO reminds me of geography class from high school, and that was traumatic because you had to color in Nunavut in Canada, and that's a lot. So instead, we've really focused on a batch system of going through and either creating your site or auditing your site, coming up with your topic and who you're talking to, making sure that you are finding the content that will work best for them, how to actually connect that content properly to make sure that it's like the topics make sense together, not just they all say email in the name or something. And then creating the content and making sure that content is getting seen with internal links and backlinks. So it is, yeah, it's, I think, a 7-part video essentially, and it's about 2 hours long, and you get some bonus blog audits of me auditing blogs in real time that you get to see. Okay, so I get to just scroll and choose, right, Liz? You are muted, Liz.
Oh, I said go ahead. Yes, yes.
Thank you. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I see Heather8773 says pick me, pick me, pick me. So I'm a pick
Yes,
you.
okay. The only time it pays to be a pick me girl. We love it.
Yeah.
We love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, congratulations, Heather. You can just email us admin at lizwilcox.com and let us know that you won Nina's prize. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. All right, Nina, are going to wrap up. I'd love for you if you have any final, one or two, or maybe 3 steps for people who are just starting out. Maybe they've said, oh, SEO was complicated. Like, what are those steps you want them to take after this call today?
Okay, so right after this call, let's assume you already have some form of website set up because I don't want to deal with the tech. So let's just assume that's done. Once you have your website, I want you to make sure that you figure out, like I said, what you're talking about, who you're talking to, and I want you to also think about why you're different than anyone else talking about this thing. So what's your unique selling point? Because again, we're going to bring all of that to all of our content. Then for the actual like SEO part of it, I want you to go out, make a spreadsheet and find at least 20 questions that people are asking either you directly or in Facebook groups, on Reddit, in YouTube comments, whatever, about your topic, and think about how those connect to your offer. Pick the best 3. Just pick 3 to start with that are the things that you're like, oh, I want to answer that. Like, I know. And then I want you to write content around it. Make the question the title of the post. Just keep it real simple. Question's going to be the title, and then you're going to write your content as an answer as though the person is sitting right in front of you. And I want you to just like stream of consciousness do it. You can edit later. You can make like subheadings later, but I want you to be like, okay, I'm at a party and someone has asked me about, why should I have an email list? Or actually what my mom asked me yesterday in the car, she was like, so what's an email like platform? Like, what does that mean? And so then you just start with the way you'd respond to them. Usually you do a quick summary. They still have a bit of a glazed look in their eye. So then you deep dive into some stuff. So write that, and always remember that as you're writing, you're speaking to a person. I don't want you to care about keyword density, which is a term that's dumb and doesn't mean anything. I don't want you to even worry about keyword research because that comes later, but you got to discern some stuff. And I want you to, like, as you're writing, have fun with it and feel like yourself. Feel like you're talking to somebody. Like Liz says, like, we get to do this. I worked in a law firm before this. Ew, it was awful. It was a state law. Everyone's dying. It sucked. I get to now come on here and be professionally unprofessional and chaotic and get to have so much fun. I get to have purple hair and like not worry about HR or something. So what you're going to do is like basically just geek out about the thing that you love for 3 posts. And then I want you to publish them. I don't care if they're not perfect. They will not be perfect, but we're getting started. Just like with email, you just need to start. We got to break the seal, and then it's so much easier. And then the last thing I want you to do is start doing some collaborations to boost yourself, to give yourself that little boost, because that's where you're going to be able to start seeing results faster. You're going to get more of those questions coming in, and you're also going to get more focus on like what is your unique thing. With my old travel blog, because Liz and I both were travel bloggers, I was just writing about whatever. And then people kept asking me about moving abroad because I lived in 18 countries in like 10 years or something. Again, ADHD, it was ridiculous. So because of that, people were like, how? What did you do? And so I started writing about that immediately saw massive results from the first 2 posts because I was answering something people needed. And a keyword research tool isn't going to tell you that. A like SEO plugin isn't going to tell you that. Honestly, ignore half of what those things say in their checklist. They're ridiculous. I want you to focus on people and really write in a way that they would understand. So if you want to like run it past someone, get a friend or family member who's willing to like read one of your posts and be like, hey, did you understand this? And if they don't, if it's your 95-year-old grandpa, and again, you're talking about an email marketing platform, maybe he was the wrong person to ask to read that, but maybe not.
Right.
We don't know what
Ask somebody
Grandpa.
relevant.
Yeah, well, Grandpa Jim could be like on it. We don't know.
We don't know.
So,
Yeah, he could have a
yeah.
huge platform. Thank you so much, Nina. This has been so helpful. Everybody is giving you so much love in the chat. I love, love, love this. And thank you for your giveaway. That was such a nice
Thank you.
surprise. I love that so much. And I'm going to drop Nina's Facebook group in the chat. If you guys want to explore more, that's in the chat. That's where she wants you to go. It's a great place. And what I love about Nina and what you've seen and we're seeing in the chat is, you know, she keeps it real about SEO, y'all. Like, we are not here to complicate. We are here to simplify for you so you can actually get stuff done. That's Nina. Thank you so, so much, girl. We are so appreciative, and we will catch you later.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
All right, friends. Listen up. The time has come. Don't leave. Don't leave yet. I saw a couple people leave. Unfortunately for them, they're not going to win the SPI interview. I am so freaking stoked to give this away. It is such an honor and a blessing to be a part of this podcast, this legacy brand, and I'm really, really excited for you to be a part of it too. So, again, I'm going to drop that Facebook group in the chat for you in the comment section. What is it called, the comment section or the chat? Well, we're live, so this is a chat, right? I think that's the difference. But I want to also remind you first, you could win $100. So if you've come in late, you also have a chance to win $100. Admin at lizwilcox.com. That's who you need to email right now if you have signed up for our sponsors. If you signed up for Destiny's mini magazine newsletter, if you are confused on how to write newsletters, you need to sign up for this anyway, aside from the chance to win $100. And then I want you to sign up for Monica's Inbox Experiment. If you are tired of not knowing how the heck to actually make money with email, this is the thing for you. Anybody who emails admin at lizwilcox.com, and some people might watch the replay, so I'm going to close this in like 12 hours. So 2 a.m. Eastern time on Friday, this is going to be done. But you got to get signed up, and then I'm going to draw the winner tomorrow afternoon to win $100. So you got to get signed up for those. Sandy has put it in the chat. Don't worry, Wondrous Destinations. You came in just at the right time. You are now going to enter yourself for a chance to win by going to our coupon book, clicking the links that Sandy's got in the chat, signing up for Monica's Inbox Experiment, and signing up for Destiny's mini magazine newsletter kit. That's going to enter you to win $100. But let's do the big thing. I'm so excited. We are giving away an interview to the Smart Passive Income podcast. Don't worry, if you feel like you're not ready, do not be afraid. Remember that trending audio? Do not be afraid, right? Remember that? I'm making a joke. Anyway, we should get to the winner. I'm so excited. So you don't have to, if you win If you're like, oh, I'm not ready for the interview, don't worry. You have 12 months to actually book the interview because I want you to feel prepared. I want to highlight you. I want to highlight someone from this community, somebody that's been coming, hanging out in the chat for a long time. Let me look. I want to make sure I see all the chats because we're live streaming on my platform and SPI. So I want to make sure everybody's coming. I'm just checking. All right. So right now, put the word podcast in the chat. I'm going to pick somebody that is putting the word podcast in the chat right this second. I'm going to give you a second. Super, super exciting. All right. I think there's a little lag, so I'm going to give it a second. I see somebody. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. I see. I'm scrolling up and down so that it's random. I'm scrolling up and down. So, ooh, so exciting. I see. Oh, hang on. I'm scrolling. Oh, it's not. Now my mouse is frozen, y'all. I messed it up. All right, Shelly. I see Shelly in the chat, but I think there's a couple of Shellys. So, where? Now I lost it. Dang it. It was somebody named Shelly. Can you put yourself back in the chat? Y'all, this is what happens when you live stream with Liz Wilcox. Congratulations to Shelly. I see a couple people in the chat named Shelly. So maybe we'll give them to both ladies because I think I saw two Shellys. And now I lost it. I scrolled myself down to the bottom and I lost the actual. Oh, Shelly McClintock Y8G. Yes, Shelly McClintock Y8G. Y'all's YouTube channels always crack me up, I'm telling you. So shout out Shelly. You just won an interview. You can email admin@lizwilcox.com to claim your prize. Congratulations. I am so happy for you. So happy for you. And again, you've got 12 months to redeem that interview because we want you to feel prepared. And hopefully, this will be the fire you needed to get stuff done. So, yeah. So we will put the links to Destiny's thing. Once again, Sandy, are you still here? Y'all, I'm supposed to be on another call right now, but we'll get there. So hopefully Sandy's still here. She can put the links. If not, you can go directly to any email you got from Pat or myself today. And there's a link to the coupon book, and she's one of our sponsors. Okay? The coupon book should be, Kylie, you're on my email list. So it is in the emails for List Building Live. The same email you got to get here today has the coupon book as well. I'm super organized, as you can tell. All right. Thank you guys so much. We are over time. I am so glad you decided to grow your list with us this week. So glad I was able to give away so many amazing prizes. Let's do this again sometime. I'll email you about it. All right. Have a great day. Congratulations on all your email marketing success.